Shut up and sit down.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Ken Frederick Podcast. This is episode 21, the Father's Day episode. I want to start off by saying thanks for listening, and if you stumbled across us on the interwebs, you can check us out at kfpodcast.com, facebook.com/kfpodcast, or at Ken Fred Podcast on the Twitter.
It amazes me that you can get those right every time, and you don't have them written down. I don't even know what they are. I copy and paste them all the time. Still can't get them. So why are we doing a Father's Day episode a week after Father's Day?
Because we did the other episode before Father's Day?
Because we are not incorrect, or we're incorrect. But we figured we'd do a little special for all the fathers.
Yeah. But first, I didn't introduce you guys.
Oh, who's here today then?
As you've heard already, it is Don and Justin. Don't put it on your script if you don't want me to talk about it.
No guest stars either, Ken.
No.
No one likes us anymore.
2 weeks straight, it's just been the three of us. The three amigos.
Old school.
All right. So,
well, happy Father's Day, everybody out
happy
there.
Father's Day, Dawn.
Yes, thank you. Since I am the only one that has laid with a woman and birthed children here at this table.
2 out of 3 of us have not laid with a woman.
I've not planted a seed in a woman's belly. I've done that.
Oh, man, this is going out of...
It's going out of hand. Out of hand.
Zip, zip. All right, so...
Yes. So
I don't know. I felt like after Sunday, which was a crazy day.
Sunday was a crazy day.
There was about 1,000 things either on television or going on and whatever. That maybe we should have done one of these. So we're kind of going back and having a little retrospective of Father's Day and father stories of the three of us.
Stories of fathers and fathering things and people fathering stuff.
I don't want to hear stories about you fathering things.
I am going to tell you how I fathered 3 children, okay? So everybody get your notes out. This is what you do. First,
get a pen and start drawing it out. You need a visual.
So why don't we tell a little bit about our fathers?
All right.
Not the all-father, our father.
Not Odin's.
Why don't you go first?
All right. So my father, Lou, worked in the steel mill for a long period of time. Passed away when I was in high school. So got to spend some time with him, but none in my adult years. So all my stuff's going to be whenever.
When you were a young Kenny.
Yeah.
A young Ken Frederick show.
A young Kenny Frederick, all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
With a San Jose Sharks shirt on.
I sent Dawn this week a picture of me from like 92 where I got a San Jose Sharks t-shirt.
He was sending me his weekly dick pics, and then somehow he snuck in a San Jose Shark picture.
Which I'm sure will probably be up all here on the screen as we're
I'll
talking.
See if I have it, but yeah.
But I'm glad I didn't send it to him the week before when the Pens were playing them in the Stanley Cup Finals, or I would have never.
Justin is seeing it right now for the first time. Isn't that great? So go ahead,
right.
You and Lou.
Yeah.
Old Lou Frederick.
Yeah, so I feel like I get a lot of my sense of humor from him, and also the fact that, like, I can talk to, I'm a pretty social guy, I like to think.
Yeah, you're on social media and everything.
Yeah. My dad would go anywhere and see someone he knew and talk to him for 20 minutes. It was so annoying.
That's the exact opposite of my father.
My dad would be like, I went down to the store, saw 3 people I knew, been there for 45 minutes. I'm like, oh, for God's sakes, Dad. Like, I want to go home. I'm sitting in the car waiting for him. But one of the stories I like to tell is, like, on, like, Memorial Day, Labor Day, 4th of July picnics, we get together at my grandparents' house. And my dad would sit in the chair and pretend like he was asleep. And he'd do this every year. And I would die laughing. We had crabapple trees in that yard. And he would pretend to be asleep. And when no one was paying attention, he would take one and, like, was that cream apple like lob
like a hook shot?
Hook shot. And he would hit my uncle in the head every time. He perfected it. And he'd be like, he wouldn't even have to slouch down. So he's like back in his like lawn chair, and all of a sudden you see his hand go like this and go back down and whack right in the head. And my uncle gets so pissed.
Just scooping him up off the ground and launching him.
Yeah. And he, at
great.
first, because we're all sitting underneath him, he thought one fell and hit him in the head. And then, like, after the 5th one that my dad got on him, he would get so pissed, and it's hilarious. But that's that's kind of stuff I like to do to people. I like to
Throwing crab apples. That's great.
Because then I realized that there was one time where a friend of mine, Mike Taylor, we were at Niagara Falls. I found a tomato plant at one of the places.
What, just hanging off the falls?
Actually, it was. It was like right on the U.S. side. There's like a bunch of cherry tomato plants.
That's
for some
weird.
reason. So I just started picking them and throwing them at them. So me and my dad were jerks and would throw vegetables and fruit.
That's nice.
We're friends. So
It's a great memory.
Yeah.
Throwing fruit and being a jerk.
yeah. So my dad, he was the kind of guy too, because he worked in the steel mill and had strong hands. So he'd do all like the test of strength things, like, oh, let me shake your hand, and then would crack all the
Squeeze it. Could he rip a phone book in half or anything like that?
No, but he could jam a straw through a potato.
That's impressive.
That's impressive.
he would-
How does it not break?
That's the thing. If you do it with enough force and at the right thing, you can, like a piece of straw going through a
Yeah,
tree.
yeah.
He used to do it all the time. Because I'm like, you're not that strong. He's like, oh, really? Always straws and potatoes around the house.
Just laying around.
There's a
No
big
potato famine in Ken's house.
big sack of potatoes and straws. Are you questioning my ability? Ken, straw. Potato.
Now go eat this baked potato, damn it.
It was always like he would do a lot of things where he knew he could do it and then try to bet people that he's like.
That's great.
And he would,
That is great.
It was all about like putting the thumb over the back, like the hole, so
Yeah.
and
So
then
no air got out.
No air got out, and then if you striked fast enough, like, and it would go through.
If you did it right, you blew the hole out the back of your thumb.
Oh, you can also get it. He cut himself one time because it shot and it like went into his hand with as much
Who
force.
puts a straw through a freaking potato?
My dad does.
That is
Lou
great.
Frederick. So yeah,
Wow.
that's some of the stuff.
See, I had an uncle like that who was like super strong like that, and he would do all those weird things. He would like stand on one, do a handstand on one hand, and
sick.
then like walk across and do all these weird, crazy feats of strength. But he never put a straw through a potato before.
Yep.
That's great.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
It is good.
How about anybody else's?
What about you? What about old Gandalf? We call Justin's dad. We never met Justin's dad, and if you've seen Justin, he's a short guy, and and like.
He's very well groomed.
Yeah, he's very
He's
well
always looks
groomed,
good.
clean.
Like, yeah.
Justin's clean. His hair's always
I
good.
like to say that Justin personifies professionalism.
Yeah, he does. And then his
And I got some props for saying all that shit right there. I don't care if you have to beat that up. I'm surprised I got those words out of my mouth.
and then we see his dad. His dad has like this long white hair. And what do you have on the dad?
Does he have a beard and like a button-up shirt? I feel like
it was a goatee. He was rocking a goatee and a kind of a crazy mustache.
And he looked like Gandalf from Lord of the Rings. So now he's
the
Gandalf.
beard wasn't that long. Let's go there. The beard wasn't that long.
It was
But
the
if you
white
see-
hair.
If you see a long white mane and facial hair,
He looked like a
that's-
wizard. And we were like,
He was
Justin's dad
definitely
is
the
Gandalf.
wizard on the side of some sketchy '80s van. Yeah.
So he's been Gandalf since then. He's nothing else. I don't even know his real name.
His real name's Pete.
Well, Pete's such a disappointment compared to Gandalf.
He's so much more interesting than his name.
Yeah.
He's so much a man of mystery.
So what's he like?
When he retired, he started growing his hair out before he retired. Now that I mentioned it, he just got to a point, and he was like, you know what? I don't care anymore. I wanted long hair. I'm gonna have long hair.
I got to that point a couple years.
Yeah. When you just don't care about yourself anymore. That's when he started wearing bandanas.
That was this year.
That was like a couple weeks ago. Ken once got a bandana. Quick story. Got a bandana because we were working here one day, and he didn't want the heat to get in his sweat to get in his face while he was cooking.
It was like 90 degrees, and I'd be on
Yeah.
the grill, and I didn't have a hat.
So he bought a bandana for $2, wore it that day. Now it's a part of his fashion.
I think they're great.
Now he wears a freaking bandana, and he has blue ones and reds on like he's in the goddamn Bloods and Crips, and he just wears them all the time. They're just, and it's not even like he wears it at the store. He wears them when he's out with Mindy too. So it's a part of your life now.
Yeah. I got home the other night, and she's like, hey, what's up, Axl Rose?
Oh, that's great.
It's true.
That's great.
All right, so tell us a little bit about Gandalf.
So
Pete.
The funny story I have, and I can't remember this story because
That's going to be tough for you to tell. it.
Well, no, I don't remember experiencing the story because I was a baby. I was like 6 months old, but I've been told this story by several people. My dad tells the story much differently that paints himself in a much better light.
Oh, jeez.
But
Did he throw a shot put at someone and hit
no, that was me. No, this is actually kind of worse. So,
Oh, jeez.
my mom's parents had an in-ground pool. They had pools the all the time I was growing up.
Okay.
And you know when you have babies and you're playing with them in a pool, you usually you're in the pool and you're just kind of holding on to them, bouncing them up and down. Well, apparently my dad was either kneeling or sitting on the side of the pool with me and kind of doing the bounce up and down. But instead of being in the shallow end,
This is gonna be great.
he was in the deep end of the pool. And apparently I slipped and sunk.
Oh my god!
Did he just let you go?
Well, no. He's like, he jumped.
He got a staff out and he was like trying to split the water.
He jumped down in the pool and I, it grabbed me, bring me. But it was funny because my dad, my dad's really laid back, and I get that from my dad. Water off a duck's back. I don't really care.
What?
You've never heard of the phrase "water off a duck's back"?
Isn't it off his ass or something like that?
I always heard it as "water off a duck's back,"
right.
but
Professional Justin.
Professional Justin.
anyway.
You're easy. You mean your dad can let two other assholes pick on him for a whole podcast and he won't say anything or get angry?
Yeah, probably.
That's
But
great.
anyway, he's like, you started moving your arms and legs and you bobbed up to the surface. He's like, it's baby's
He waited
natural
for you to
thing.
bob to the surface.
I got to the surface before he was able to corral me. But
After I finished my beer, he finally got to the surface, and I said he must be all right.
but apparently my grandmother almost had a heart attack and was screaming at him and yelling at him and
Because cheese doesn't float. Put some cheese in the water, it'll go right down to the bottom.
but yeah,
Well,
so that's the funny one of the funnier moments.
That's a great story. He's just like, hey, came to the top.
I don't know.
Bobbed right up.
Yeah.
Jesus. Wow.
So
Can we tell the poop on the shoe story?
So Ken, so let me tell you about then we'll tell you about shoe pooping. So my dad's very serious. He's not me at all. Like I think I take after more of my mother, but he's very serious. My dad, you can sum it up with big Italian family. We're all sitting around at Thanksgiving. Everybody's talking about movies that they saw and things that they do. My grandmother's telling stories. Everybody's just to sit around. We tell stories. My dad just sits there silent.
I take your dad because I've been there for 4th of July and stuff with your family. He is the guy that'll sit in the corner and just take in everything.
It just absorbs
and watches it.
And then everybody was like, and they were like, Bobby, what games do you like or what movie do you like? And he gave the best statement that sums up my whole life. He said, I don't like games, I don't like fun, I don't like anything. And then he walked away and went upstairs and continued to watch TV. And everybody just threw their hands up. We're like, all right, yeah, that sums that up. But that's just how he is. It's just stone cold like that. Like he doesn't. And if he does say something that catches him off guard, you don't like to admit it. That you caught him. You know what I mean? So the best story where we broke him and actually made him laugh is one of my friends was over and we were having a sleepover. We're sitting in a living room and my mother comes out complaining that my dad farts too much when he's in the bedroom. And she's like, he's in there blowing gas. She used to say blowing gas. He's blowing gas and it stinks. And I'm not going back in there. So my dad walks out, gets a glass of water, turns to a living room full of my friends and my mother and says, all right, I'm going to... He's like, I'll see you guys later. I'm going to go blow myself, is what he said. He meant he's going to go blow farts, but he said he's going to blow himself. And the room erupted, and we were laughing. And I saw him wanting to laugh, and he was just looking at me like, you mother... and then he just had to smile, and he walked away, So we bring that story up all the time. But that's him, so serious. And all he does now, he's the most busy retired person you've ever seen. He's obsessed with rocks.
Oh, I remember you talking about this.
Obsessed with rocks.
Yep.
He got a new house. He had a little bit of a rock garden, and then he puts bricks and outlines the rocks, and then he puts another layer of rocks. Then he outlines the rocks with a different kind of brick, and it just keeps going. And now the shed, which he put rocks around the house, they're starting to close in on each other. The grass he has to cut just keeps closing in until pretty soon it's going to be one pass with the mower. Because he's just obsessed. His friends call him Rocky. Because he literally, when they moved into this plan, would go around to where the houses where they would dig them up and steal all the rocks out of the ground. He'd pull up in his truck and sit there for an hour throwing rocks. And we're like, you're obsessed with rocks. I've never seen anybody more. He's obsessed with rocks and leaves. That's all he cares about. But
What raking leaves?
raking leaves.
never has to rain.
One goddamn leaf falls in that yard, you'll hear him, oh, I gotta get those leaves. I'm like, what? There's no leaves. There's one leaf out there. For Christmas, I went out and just threw a handful of leaves into his yard. I said, Merry Christmas. Now you have something to do for tomorrow. You got some leaves to pick up. But, so, yeah, my dad's, like, super serious. So when Ken was around them, like, Ken felt that anything my dad would say, he's right. Because that's how I always felt as a kid.
He has an aura of, like, of something around him where he's like, whatever he says, like, yep, yes, sir. Doesn't matter what age. Like, I feel like I'm 10 years old, and this is
my mother was a nurse in the ER, and we would get sick and be like, how long do you think this is going to last? And she'd be like one day, and then we would turn and go, Dad, like, how long do you think? She'd be like, what the hell are you asking him for? He's a social worker. I know. He'd be like, well, he knows. I know he knows. And he'd be like, 1 or 2 days. He'd be fine. We're like, oh, okay. He used to drive her crazy. But, it was just like he has that aura like that. So Ken was telling me this. Did you ever hear this story?
I don't remember.
He's sitting there talking to my dad, and like, Ken works in a comic book store.
I've done this for
like,
a long time.
Yeah, they were talking about, like, Marvel movies. They were just starting off, and my dad's like, they're making too many of these movies. They're going to fail. And Ken just looks at him and goes, yeah, you're right. Even though he doesn't believe it at all. And he's like,
everything he was saying to me, I was
too
like,
much. They're going to flood the market. They're going to crash. Yeah, you're right. And I look at him and I was like, what are you agreeing with him for? And he's like, look, and this is the best line. He's like, your dad could tell me, hey, Ken, you need to go put poop in your shoes because it feels good. And it works out. And I would be like, you're right, Mr. Bjorny. And I would go dump shit right in my shoes just because he told me. And so now all the time, me and Ken, when I'll be like, I was at my dad's, he'll be like, did you put poop in your shoes while you're there? Like, totally. And I think I told him that story, and his reaction was, what the hell are you talking about? He's like, I don't say things like that. We're like, well, like it's just over his head, But he did actually on this past Father's Day. He gave me a pretty nice compliment, which was kind of out of character for him. He actually told me that I was one of the best fathers that he knew, and I was like, wow. I was like, thanks. And like, I don't know how to take those things because usually he's pretty straight serious. And I was like, wow. I felt like I was being punked or something like that, But so that'll lead us into our next topic. Me being the only one that had, like I said, that fathered some children, right?
Yes.
And if you don't know me, I have 5 children.
One of your children have already been on the podcast.
I was married before Saber and I were married, and I had 2 kids, a boy and a girl.
Yep.
And Saber had a boy and a girl, or 2 boys. I had Paige and Logan. She had Chase and Xander. They were the same age. Uh-huh. And then we had Alex. We used to have the perfect setup because we used to have kids on one weekend, no kids on the other. So it was like, when we were working out at Mellon, it was beautiful. You'd be like going to happy hours and movies all the time, and people were like, "Where are your children?" We're like, "Get married, get divorced. It's the best thing in the world." Then get remarried. But then we had Alex by mistake because of the movie Watchmen.
Wow, you really want to say
it was? He was an accident. I mean, he was the best accident we've ever had.
All right.
I mean, Alex was a total accident. We weren't planning on it at the time because we were trying to like move and do all that stuff, and then it just happened. She called me one day and I was driving home. She said, you need to get a pregnancy test. And I was like, why? And she was like, just get one. And I said, okay. And
then she goes, I thought that she wanted you to take one. I'm like, that's not how that works.
No, and I said, do you think you're pregnant? She was like, just bring one home and get me a Big Mac. And I'm like, oh, all right. I think I already know what the answer is then. And then it was. But, Alex is great. He's the nucleus that holds the family.
Made his KFP debut last week.
He did.
I've known Alex as long as I've known you, except for minus maybe like.
Yeah, because right when we moved here, she was pregnant with him.
Yeah, so you came in and you're like, oh yeah, here you go. I'm like, oh shit, this is a baby in the store.
Yeah, I brought a little baby in, and he's known you since you were like his jungle gym when he was a little baby.
Oh yeah. Hours of watching wrestling over at Don's house, and I would sit on the floor, and the Alex would crawl up one
side.
He's
like 1 year old. He'd climb up,
then slide down a leg,
slide down the other.
Yeah,
that's funny.
That's
Uncle Ken's like a giant jungle gym. He just climbing all over.
It took him a little while to warm up to me, but
Now you and Alex are very similar because both of you spend your evenings watching YouTube videos of people playing Ark and
Minecraft.
You and my 6-year-old are like identical. When he goes to sleep at night, sometimes I kiss him goodnight. I go, "Good night, Justin." I mean, "Good night, Alex." Yeah.
Shut up, you do not.
Because he's watching Minecraft and watching Ark videos and people playing games.
Don't come down and tuck me in.
Yeah, well, I'll come down and tuck you in next time.
Your kids are great because I got the pleasure of going on vacation one year with
I don't know
them.
if that's a pleasure.
Well, it was fun. I had a good time. But I was basically the water toy for the children because they would jump on me. I would throw them. Like there's one time where 4 of them were trying to like get me under the water. It was just like
Drown Ken time?
yeah, they're trying, running and jumping off the side of the
Ken
pool.
saw firsthand how my wife and I always think it'll be a good idea to do something with 5 children. We should do something. That's how the conversation usually starts. Why don't we do something? Why don't we go here? Let's go to the store. Let's go to the movies or whatever. And 5 minutes in, we're swearing like crazy and yelling and screaming and we're never taking you goddamn kids anywhere again. It just happens. Then we feel like the worst parents in the world.
The buffet story's great. With all the kids eating the all-you-can-eat buffet down on vacation, and Don gets the bill, and he looks like he's gonna have a heart attack.
They were all just killing this $35 buffet, and I get like this $300 bill.
And his face. And can you put the?
I'll try and put the shot of Mr. McMahon. There's the face he makes when he realizes like he's nervous.
Yeah,
he's pulling
and
on
he
his
starts
ear.
pulling on his ear, and he's like,
See, it's the exact face I was making. Like I'm holding the bill, shaking, and Ken's like, Ken paid for himself because we had our nanny with us too.
Yeah.
So I paid for 8 fucking people to have a buffet.
the person that paid more is me. I'm like, oh, I got my own bill.
At $40 a pop or whatever it is, because even the kids one was like $25 a pop.
Oh yeah,
and Ken had his own. He's like, "Oh, I'm ready to go," and I'm just holding the bill, shaking, like we're never coming here again. It was terrifying.
It was a good vacation. I had fun.
Yeah,
Eating those horrible pizza bagel things. And so Logan, I don't know how to describe Logan.
Logan's weird.
But he's like whatever.
He's a good kid. He's just quiet. He's you know what he is? He's my father. He acts just like my father. Doesn't want to be bothered by anybody. Doesn't want to,
So we're sitting there, and somehow we were eating these pizza bagels that got frozen and thawed, and they were disgusting.
My mother gave them to us, and they were in her freezer for about 4 years. And she gave them to us. We put them in a cooler, and then it melted, so they were just floating in water. So these soggy things we stuck in the oven.
It's just mounds of like disgusting
cheese, but of course me and Ken ate them.
Because we used a whole bottle of hot sauce. Like hot sauce will make these better.
And then
Playing
Logan's
cards.
sitting there eating them with us.
Yeah, Logan's just like, these are pretty good. Eats them and leaves. So like,
it was like rock hard and then soggy on top. Was all it was.
And it was like molten lava, ice cold, molten lava again. So,
absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. But yeah, so they did good on Father's Day for me. They got me cards and stuff. Alex is on to the kick now for Father's Day. He picks out the Lego he wants.
And then you build
and then he buys it, and then I build it, and then he takes it. And that's how it goes. So he showed up, hand me the bat. I got the Batman plane from the new movie.
Oh, okay.
And, which I tell her, don't go spending $85 on a Lego for me because I don't want that. Like, I know it's just for him. Oh, no, it's fine. And then I see her putting it in a cart, and I'm like, yeah, $79.99 for that goddamn thing. So we build it together, and then he's, he has it. I think it's already broken. That's just kind of.
You didn't glue it when you were building it this time?
No gluing. But that's what I did. What'd you guys do for Father's Day?
I tried to watch a million things on the television.
So many things on. What'd you have on that night? The Cavs were on.
The Cavs Game 7.
Game of Thrones.
Wrestling pay-per-view.
Right.
So watched wrestling pay-per-view until 9. Watched Game of Thrones. Went back to wrestling pay-per-view.
This is because Ken doesn't have a DVR where he can't record things. And go
It doesn't
back
matter with the things I was watching. Game of Thrones on my HBO app. And
why was it on an app?
Because the app downloads right whenever
No.
I'd rather. I already have it going with the.
You can watch it live on
Okay.
whatever device.
Right.
So it's all right there on my Xbox.
So this was all on the Xbox.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I totally forgot about the Cavs Game 7, and then you texted me that they won.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, yeah.
Thanks, LeBron James, for ruining Father's Day for me, for having to win the championship.
Why does it ruin your Father's Day?
Because Xander was in such a horrible mood. My stepson Xander's a Warriors fan. He came home from his dad's house just to watch that. And then as soon as they lost, he didn't want to watch any more of the pay-per-view. Yeah, he just had enough. He was done. He just closed it out, and that was it. But the pay-per-view was good. Dean Ambrose won the title.
Yeah.
That was cool to see.
Yeah.
Little money in the bank. How about you? What'd you do?
My dad came down and we got to hang out. We went and
Practice spells and did wizardry. Right?
He's like, did you see the biography of my life? It's called Warcraft. You're like, Dad, I did see it last week.
Just went and had some dinner and watched the final round of the U.S. Open, and then golf, man. And then it was funny. So when my dad comes down when he hangs out, he doesn't quite know how to work the remote for my TV because he just has regular cable. He doesn't have like a big fancy box. So
He's a book of spells.
He doesn't quite know how to work it, and it was like 8:45, and I can see him picking up the remote, looking, and I'm like, don't get too comfortable with that remote. Because he was going to switch it to like ESPN or something. And he's like, why? And I'm like, Game of Thrones comes on in like 12 minutes. So I made my dad watch Game of Thrones.
And he never watched it before.
Never watched a single episode before. Made him watch that one. And then after that was over, we switched over to the Cavs game and watched the end of the Cavs game.
Okay.
And then
Nice.
I got up for work Monday morning and he
You
went
play
home.
any video games?
I did not play any video games on Father's Day.
All right. Why am I bringing up video games?
Because that's the segue into our next segment.
Segway. We'll see you tomorrow for an episode about what's this shit we're talking about tomorrow.
E3, the Electronic Entertainment Expo.
All right.
All right. One last pimp. Please like, share, subscribe. Is that it? Like, share,
Subscribe,
invite, like, subscribe, share.
And again, happy Father's Day to everybody's dads, whatever, grandpas, anybody special in your life from everybody here at the Ken Frederick Podcast.